YouTube. This is Jacob from Wager Me This. Um, it's Thursday. This is Lay the Points, episode number 25. It is the 8th of June. Yesterday, the Nuggets absolutely manhandled Miami in the second half. Got a good win. We had that on here. I told you guys either the money line or the lay in the points was fine. We got home easily. That was an easy play, guys. A lot of stats that went into game two. First of all, the Miami in game two. Now, I know yesterday was game three, but Miami game two shot 48% from three. You can't do that every game. If you don't do that every game, you ain't beating the Denver Nuggets. It was actually an easy play. It was not a difficult play, guys. I crushed that game. If you were in my purchasing package, if you got on Wager Me This and purchased from me, you got an absolute write-up on that one. We missed one play on it. It was Michael Porter to have 7.5 rebounds. He had 7. He didn't play in the second half or in the fourth quarter, really, because Christian Braun was just dominant. So he didn't get on the floor to get his 1 rebound, which sucked because I like being perfect. But I'll still take it was like 5 and 1 or whatever, a couple plus money plays in there. Crushed it, guys. Crushed it yesterday. Triple-double for Joker, triple-double for Murray. It was nice. It was a nice game. Guys, make no mistake, this series is, I think Denver brings it again when we see it again. But anyways, that's yesterday. Good win for us. We'll take it. But today, we are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. First game in Florida. But we're not talking about Florida. Florida's getting smacked around. Florida's the weaker team. Vegas is the better overall team on all 3, 4, 5 lines that they put out there. Better goalie play. I don't think Florida can bring it enough to come back in this one. You can only come back so many times. I'm not saying they won't win a game. They very well could win a game. Probably will win in Florida one of these games, but I want to talk about Vegas a little bit. In the last 3 games, so 2 of the final games and the last game against Dallas, 6, 5, and 7. 6, 5, and 7 is the goals they've scored. Most of that was against Bobrovsky, but any goalie they've put in there, smoking them. It's the overall play of Vegas that gets it done. It's line after line of players that are fast and strong. And Florida is an older team, and one of the guys on my Discord pointed this out. The Florida's an older team. They have a lot of older defensive men and stuff. So as the game wears on, these young guys for Vegas are getting it done. So today, what we like, man, we're going to the team totals. You know, when you look at hockey team totals, it'll give you like every kind of team total you can get, over half all the way up to 6. But at 3.5, we're getting plus 135. Vegas team total over 3.5 is plus 135. That's the spot. All right. They've proven repeatedly through the whole playoffs, really. But against Florida really can't do much with their offense. So if we scored 7 and 6 or 7 and 5, as Vegas scored 7 and 5 against Florida in the first 2 games, expecting them to score 4 is not all that difficult. I think they get to 4. It wouldn't surprise me if it's in the second period. Wouldn't surprise me if this gets over in the second period. So I like this. I like this Las Vegas Golden Knights team total over 3.5. Now, again, you're going to have to go in there and look at the team totals on the hockey, because it's not like other team totals where it just gives you 1. It'll be multiple. So go to over 3.5. You're going to get like plus 135 is what I got. Plus 135. You know, you might get better if you have a better book. Maybe better. But I like that one a lot. Another one, if you want to take Vegas to win on the road, they're even money. Even money on the run, or on the puck, not the puck line, sorry. Even money on the money line. That's a pretty good play. Will they lose? Maybe. They might. But if they lose any of the games that Vegas loses in this one, it will be because Florida outscored them, not out-goaltended them. And I will put that in stone that I don't think Florida can defend Vegas for 200 feet. I don't know if you guys know a lot about hockey, but um, there's 200-foot players, and that means that they play the whole length. They're not just offensive. They're not just defensive. They're 200-foot players. Well, Vegas is full of them. They're full of 200-foot players, where Florida only has a couple. And so that's another thing that's making Vegas more dominant is that their sheer amount of quality 200-foot players. But again, man, Vegas has just been dominant offensively, scoring wise. Plus, it's likely you're going to get an empty net goal. And that's another thing you got to factor in when you're looking at these team totals. There's a really good chance in this late third period that even if, let's say Vegas is up 3-2, there's a likely chance you're going to get an empty net goal. So you got a lot of angles here playing in your favor. You got a good plus money bet that is well under what we've been seeing from these guys at 3.5, over 3.5 goals, plus 135 is where I bet it for the Vegas Knights, guys. You're getting such a good price for something that they've been consistently doing. And I get that this is on the road. I get that they're down, but hockey's a different animal. Hockey home ice advantage is nowhere near as powerful. Generally, the better team in hockey will win, or the more assertive and aggressive team will win, as far as offensively aggressive will win. And obviously a goaltender can win you a game. So, and Adin Hill has been fantastic. Some of the saves he's made are going to make, posters and stuff. Like the save where he dove and caught it with the stick. I mean, that's going to be on a poster somewhere. So look for Vegas to, if they lose, they're going to lose 5-4 or 6-5 in OT or something. It's not going to be a 3-2 Florida victory. It's just not. They're not. Florida doesn't have the horses to keep Vegas out of the goal. They don't. I haven't seen it in any part of the series. I don't think they've kept them off the scoreboard in any period. Maybe I may be wrong on that, but I don't think they've kept them off the scoreboard in a single period. So again, I think we easily get over this 3.5 with Vegas. You're getting a good solid plus at 135. It's a good spot, guys. This is a good spot. And again, like if you like Vegas is even money on the money line. You're not going to get it better than that in the series. So get them on even money. I think it's a great spot. Vegas is the better team. They're playing better, better goalie, better overall complement of stars. I would say Florida Tkachuk is probably the best player on the ice, but overall complement, Vegas has better players, right? So better skaters, just better overall 200-foot players. It's just what it is. They're just better. So again, look for Eichel to have a big game after getting mollywopped and just getting drove on the ice by Tkachuk. I think Eichel comes out and does some good things. It's just an easy spot. I actually think this is an easy play. I don't think this is a very difficult play. It's under what they've done already, performance-wise. And Florida's made adjustments and still couldn't do anything about what Vegas does. So I don't think that they do anything about what Vegas does in this one. You just got to get to 4 goals. I don't see it as I don't see this one as a risky one, especially for this type of plus money, plus 135. The value is way through the roof on this one. It's just a good spot, guys. So, hey, that's where we're at today. Las Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup going over 3.5 on their team total. Over 3.5. And another good sign for this team total, guys, is that the overall over-under line has went to 6 from 5.5 in the first 2 games. They've bumped it up to 6. They're expecting more goals. And that's another good sign when you're betting these team totals. You start seeing them totals go up. That's a good time to jump on team totals. So that's where we're at, guys. Las Vegas Golden Knights over 3.5 goals. Team total plus 135. Let's get it today, guys. Got to go to work again all day. Again, it's gonna, I have a real job, which is kind of sucky. I wish I just did this. I would love to be on podcast, 2 hours a day. Eventually it'll be there, boys. Eventually it'll get there where I just talk to you guys about this, give out a lot of free money as far as plays go. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Thank you for everyone that is that supports me, and thank you for everyone that watches my channel, purchases my package. Hopefully I'm paying off for you guys. I feel like I am, but it's always good for guys like me to be reassured, by the way. Now I know, like nights like last night, obviously I crush it, so it's hard to miss. Even if you're just playing one or two of my plays, you're probably not missing. But for the guys that have stuck with me from the end or from the beginning till now, that have went through the ups and downs, because I'm not always great, guys. Sometimes I have bad runs. It's the truth. It's the truth of all handicappers. Every sports bettor, handicapper, any kind of gambler has down runs. Anyone that tells you they don't lose ever is lying. They're a liar. You lose sometimes. You lose in consecutive fashion sometimes for days at a time. I've had days where I went 1-7, 0-6, and had all these perfect handicaps that got smacked and turned right around, and the next day have a 7-0. I mean, it's a cyclical monster, this gambling thing. But the key is have more ups than downs. And that's where your quality comes in. Your quality of your handicap, your quality of your strategy if you're playing a craps or blackjack, your preparation, your understanding of what you're doing. Guys, don't ever do anything where you have to get lucky in gambling. You don't ever want to be getting lucky. You want when you get lucky to just be a bonus. All right? Don't get lucky. Put the work in, put the time in, do the research, practice if it's a game that you can practice like blackjack or craps. Put the time and effort in, and the results will show. I can put everything I own on it. If you'll put the time and effort in and you'll be disciplined, the results will show. All right. The same thing with sports betting. If you do the research, guys, you can pick out the spots. You do the research, you pick out the spots. It's not, oh, I really like this player, or they're my favorite team, or I hate this team. Leave all that stuff out. That has nothing to do with anything. All right. All those bets are what called heart bets, or that's, they're homer bets. I'm not saying never make them, because I make some homer bets, but I make homer bets that are minimal, that are for fun, as opposed to when I'm trying to get people paid, when I'm trying to get paid myself. It's fully researched. It's 100%. I put the effort, I put the time in, late hours, looking at tweets and looking at injury reports and what reporters are saying and what guys are saying in press conferences. I look at all this. I'm trying to check out body language. Like, I know that yesterday for sure that the Heat got their heart taken. The Heat got their heart taken when they got dominated in that game. I'm not saying they can't come back from it, but they got their heart taken yesterday. They probably lost the series yesterday. And another thing, here's a good percentage. Here's a good trend for y'all. Game 3, NBA Finals. The team that wins Game 3 wins 67% of the series. So 2 out of every 3 series that the team wins Game 3, they go on to win the series. So the Nuggets at this point, as history goes, are a 67% chance to win. So there you go. That's a nice little trend, fact, percentage, whatever you want to call it. So them are little things I know. Those are little things I look at, pay attention to. Again, if you guys want to say good pitching matchup today, got Verlander versus Strider, Mets versus Braves. Should be good. Should be a good one. All right. Should be two pretty good pitchers. One good hitting team, one underachieving hitting team. So should be a good one. It's been a good series so far. A lot of runs. That's a good game. Check that one out. But again, one more thing I want to talk about really quick is, I know you guys are prepping up. The NFL's coming, right? The NFL is getting closer and closer and closer. Don't buy the hype. That's one of the things that gets people early on, is they buy the hype of these talking heads in the media trying to hype up teams, right? Trying to hype up teams like the Browns or the Bills or Seattle or Guys, make no mistake. There's still no team as good as Kansas City, right? There's still no NFC team as good as the Eagles. There's not. The 49ers and the Eagles are the class of the NFC, all right? The Cowboys are not going to be better than them, all right? I'm not saying the Cowboys can't win some games, but they're just not going to be better. They're not going to be better than the Eagles. So I know you Cowboys fans don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. You don't have as good of players. So you don't have as good of a coaching staff. I love Dan Quinn, but the rest of the coaching staff is the Eagles have a great coaching staff. They have great players. They have the guy that should have won the MVP in the Super Bowl if they would have won. They are an elite team. All right. So just don't buy the hype. All right. They're just trying to talk all this. They got to have something to talk about. NFL rules the day in sports in the United States, guys. So they got to talk about the NFL all year long. All right. But make no mistake, the same good teams are still going to be the same good teams. And the Buffalo Bills are not better than the Chiefs or the Bengals. They're not. They're probably not better than the Ravens with a healthy Lamar, and they're probably not better than the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know people don't want to hear this. These Buffalo guys don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. Buffalo's a great team, but they're not better than those teams. They haven't done things to ascend. Buffalo's best chance to win a Super Bowl was lost in the last 13 seconds of the game. When the Chiefs beat them in them last 13 seconds, that was Buffalo's best team. Since then, they've regressed. So likely Buffalo missed their window to win a Super Bowl. It's very likely because you got Jacksonville's window coming, and it looks really good. The Chargers' window is starting to look good, and you still have the Chiefs and the Bengals sitting there on the throne of the AFC. That you got to knock them off first. So guys, don't buy the hype in the NFL stuff. I know people start making future bets around now, and they start doing all this stuff. Don't buy that hype, all right? Pay attention. The same teams. One of the things you can always look at going into a preseason is the teams that were good that had the fewest changes will still be good the next year because there's no filling out process. There's no, you didn't bring in a new offensive line. You didn't bring in a bunch of new receivers, whatever. You have the same team, so you have the same playbook. You have the same going forward. You're going to be better at the beginning of the season because you're going to be further ahead. All right, that works every year, every single year that works. So teams that made big changes generally don't do well at the beginning of the year. Tom Brady going to Tampa, they weren't great at the beginning of the year. Matthew Stafford going to the Rams, they were okay at the beginning of the year, but they had their growing pains, guys. So stuff like that. So what I'm referring to is that the Jets aren't all of a sudden going to be this best team in the AFC. Just because Aaron Rodgers went there. There's going to be a filling out process. He's going to have to learn these receivers. He's going to have to learn this O-line. He's going to have to learn this new play caller. Although it's Hackett, which isn't a good sign either. So, but anyways, what I'm getting at is don't buy the Aaron Rodgers Jets hype. Don't buy all that, all right? The Jets probably aren't going to be very good. They're still going to be a 500 team, even with Aaron Rodgers. So, if you look at it last year, the Packers were a 500 team with Aaron Rodgers with, in my estimation, a better overall team coaching everything than he has at the Jets. Matt LaFleur is a better coach than Saleh. There's no doubt in my mind. So just make no mistake that Jets team is not going to just kill it. Hey, what's up? New Zealand, definitely cool. Dan Brown. Are you the writer, Dan Brown? If you're the writer, I've read all your books. That would be really cool. Like, it would be so cool if you were the real Dan Brown and you were watching my show. That would be, not that you're not the real Dan Brown, because obviously you're a Dan Brown as well. But the writer, Dan Brown, are you the writer, Dan Brown? At least lie to me. At least tell me, yeah, absolutely. I'm just joking. But I have read all Dan Brown's books. The thumbs up, it makes it a mystery. But anyways, hey, it was cool. I love everything about New Zealand, Australia. One of my good YouTube buddies. I actually sent him a bottle of American whiskey. He lives in Australia, It was so expensive to send him this bottle of whiskey, but I did it because Andrew from Craps Down Under. I don't know if you guys have checked out his channel, but check out Andrew from Craps Down Under. He doesn't make a lot of videos anymore, I don't think, but man, he's just cool guy. And Dan Brown is obviously a cool guy. New Zealand, all those places are just so like foreign to me because I just seen them on TV, or read in books. I've never been anywhere like that, so just really cool. But anyways, guys, I got to go into work. I'm already kind of late, so got to get out of here. Thank you for your time. Again, we're on the Vegas team total over 3.5. Vegas Golden Knights team total over 3.5 goals. We're getting good plus money. Let's go get it. Thank you guys for your time. Jacob from Wager Me This.